mental health is an issue. Trauma, racial trauma, I will say that, like, it's offense and defense. So when we're thinking about watching after the cops, we got to play offense and defense. So our offense needs to be mentally strong. Okay. Um, I want to shed light on activists that have since Breonna have been killed by the police. Um, 2 days after we started protesting, May 28th, 2 or 3 days, 3 days, it was June 1st. We was under emergency order. The governor had brought down National Guards. And so David McAtee, they went to the West End and they shot and killed David McAtee in his business, at his business. And we still have to get justice for David McAtee. After that, we occupied Injustice Square Park, we call it Breeway. And we've occupied it for over 200 days. After the first 30 days, though, the police were pretty upset with us for doing an occupation. And Tyler Girth was killed inside of the park. And that was when they told us that some KKK 3%ers were coming. They told us in advance. And so everybody came armed, but it was, the police always try to blame it on somebody else. And I won't go into all of those details, but I'm saying their names because I know that they were targeted. I'm not saying it because of the story that's out there. And so we still occupy the space. It was October 23rd, 22nd, we had another police shooting. And this is after the young activists had started to start doing cop watches. So they started to listen to the dispatch. They started following calls. And so on November 22nd, we had another shooting in Division 1, which is predominantly a poor area, but it's occupied by a lot of white residents that are really kind of racist. And so there's that dynamic that's in our poor neighborhood that they have their own section. Okay, sorry. So that night, Travis Najdi was on his way. He put all hands on deck on Facebook to tell all the protesters to go to the spot that there was a police shooting. And on his way out the door, he was carjacked and killed. And he was one of our young leaders. He was actually getting ready to call out. There's a ring of pedophile police department that had raped a lot of young boys in their department in this program that was, I can't even think of the program right now, the Explorer program. And so he was actually getting ready to expose all of that. He was focused on the FOP contract and he was going to attack that. So he was targeted and he was killed. And the story is not right, what they're saying. And then that weekend, the very next weekend, Chris Smith had rallied a whole bunch of folks to Division 1, where, that division has been taking our protesters and intimidating them before they go lock them up into the regular police department. They'll go to Division 1, they'll interrogate them. And so he was leading the march there. They got stopped because a 3%er from Indiana tried to run over one of them. And so they never made it to the division. The very next weekend, Chris was coming out of his sister's house and was shot and killed on the street. And we don't have anybody that's been charged for that murder. So that's David McAtee, Tyler Girth, Travis Najdi, and Chris Smith. So when you're thinking about Breonna Taylor, I need you to think of those 4 names as well, because if the whole city wasn't trying to cover up what they did to Breonna Taylor, which was home invasion. Like, no knocks are home invasions, but it was a rogue police department that when I first heard it, the first thing that I said was they went to go rob her. I mean, they already had the guy that they wanted. So why are you still going to somebody else's house is 10 miles away because you think that there's money, and they always get and confiscate like $2 million and they get to keep it all. That's the rule here. Like whatever they go and they confiscate, they get to keep it. And so that's an incentive. Let's just keep it all the way real. That's why they want, like, they don't make a lot of money, like teachers don't make a lot of money. And so this is their incentive. And we need to stop it. And so the Kentucky Alliance, we're taking donations because we are doing two things: the offense and the defense. We are organizing and implementing a cop watch because we need more protection. We know that's why they went after us, is because we was watching them. But we also need the offense, and that's that racial trauma therapy. And that's what I'm doing this weekend, is actually getting certified to be a racial trauma therapist. And so that, because I know so many people now, like it's a family. Breonna Taylor, it hurts me so much because we all have a Breonna, and my daughter went to school with her younger sister, and I have grown to love Tamika and Bianca and everybody. And so when I see all of this, it breaks me down again. But not just them, it was all of the people that came out. And when you do an occupation, they stayed there. There's people that's been there more than I have. I mean, I've been there since day one, but I haven't been there 24 hours since day one. And there has been people that has done that. And so I have so many people that have been, I mean, we have been pepper sprayed, bullet, like rubber bullet. We attacked dogs. Everything has been, um, we have endured since May 28th, all the protesters. So we have to get our mental right. We have to understand that we are worthy, even though the world, it seems like it hates us.